What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk with Justin. Today, I'm going to be starting the first NFL mock draft Monday. We got around a month until the 2026 NFL draft, which I'm very excited for. I hope you guys are too. So every Monday here on out, which is like 4 Mondays, and then we'll do another one the day of the draft. We are going to be doing a mock draft. Today, we're not going to do any trades, and we're just going to do round one for the first one. I understand this one may be the least accurate one that we're going to do because of how far out it is. There's no rumors or anything like that. So, hope you guys enjoy this video. Comment down below who you want your team to pick in this year's NFL draft. And let's get right into it. So, we're going to pick for every single team here. Like I said, we're going to do one round. ESPN for sure. And we're just going to go into a solo draft here. So here's a quick look at the draft order. The Raiders have the number one overall pick. Then you have the Jets. Oh my gosh. You have the Jets, you have the Cardinals, you have the Titans with their new logo, the Giants, the Browns, the Commanders, the Saints, the Chiefs at 9 is scary. The Bengals. You got the Dolphins because no, that's their natural pick. You got the Cowboys, and you got the Rams because they got the Falcons pick in the James Pierce Jr. trade. You got the Ravens, should be the Raiders pick. You got the Bucks, you got the Jets, you got the Lions, you got the Vikings, you got the Panthers, you got the Cowboys because of Green Bay's pick. You got the Steelers, you got the Chargers, you got the Eagles, you got the Browns because I can't remember why they're there. But they're there. And then you got the Bears, you got the Bills, you got the 49ers, you got the Texans, you got the Chiefs again, you got the Dolphins and the Patriots and the Seahawks. So that is the order for the round one draft this year. It will change 1000% on draft night and before draft night. So let's go. Raiders at number one. According to these team needs here, they need a quarterback, offensive guard, offensive tackle, wide receiver, and a defensive tackle. I'm not going to take too long on this. We all know they're probably going Fernando Mendoza. Here's the quarterback options for this year, though. My initial thoughts. Mendoza, I think, is QB1. Ty Simpson, I think, is QB2. I think Garrett Nussmeier is QB3. I think Drew Aller is QB4. And Carson Beck is QB5. I think that's the order. I think Cade Klubnik could be a late round steal. Jalen Daniels got speed. Haynes King could be decent too. Joey. Caden Salter from Colorado. And that's really about it from what I know. But yeah, I mean, quarterback class, I think this should be the first quarterback class that you have to sit them and let them develop behind a veteran before you start them, because if you don't, bad things could happen. But I think Fernando Mendoza goes to the Raiders at number one overall. Just the way the Raiders built this team so far, they've kind of signed everybody but a quarterback. I would like to see Vegas go and get a veteran, though. Maybe somebody like Kirk Cousins to, you know, guide Mendoza, let him develop, sit behind, let him learn. I think that needs to happen more in today's NFL. That would help young quarterbacks. All right, moving on. We have the New York Jets, and this one gets a little tougher. They need a wide receiver, they need an edge, quarterback, linebacker, offensive guard. This one's tougher because I don't really know what the Jets are going to do at quarterback besides tanking with Geno Smith. That's really their options right now. I don't see them taking one at two based off their track record. We'll have to see. But there are some solid here. Let's just go over each position group real quick, what I value each player. We'll go running backs. Jeremiah Love, I think, is very, very good. Very good running back. And I think Nicholas Singleton from Penn State, I think he's the second best running back in this draft class. I think those are the top two. These guys are good. Let's see here. I also think Matt Johnson is very underrated. This is kind of a weaker running back class for sure, in my opinion. I think it's, yeah, compared to last year, this is a weak running back class. But Jeremiah Love, Nicholas Singleton, I think are really good. At wide receiver, I think this is a very good one. I really believe in Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson is the best receiver in this class. I think Mekhi Lemon's good too. Denzel Boston, I don't know much about. Jeremy Bernard, I know is really, really good. KC Concepton, I know, is very good. Malachi Fields is underrated. Antonio Williams from Clemson is really, really good. This is a really deep wide receiver class, and I'm going to be excited to see how they all perform. But I think Tate, Tyson, Lemon will all go in the first round. Tight end, Kenyon Sadiq is a freak athlete, very good football player. He can hurdle, he can do all that kind of stuff, and he's a tight end, so he's basically a receiver and a tight end that can block really well. So he's a very exciting prospect. Um, Max Clare from Ohio State, he's solid too. Don't know much about the rest of them. Offensive tackle Francis Muega is the best, and then Spencer Fano. I think Monroe is the third best tackle in this draft. Caleb Lemieux and Caden Proctor are really good too. Good offensive tackle draft. Guard, honestly, know nothing about. I know Luane is good from Penn State, and Emmanuel is good from Oregon, but outside of that, I don't know much. Center, same scenario, don't know much about. Obviously, Connor Liu, Logan Jones, they're probably second, third round pick, maybe fourth, but they're okay. Defensive side of the ball, defensive tackle, I think it's a really solid class here for this position. Peter Woods is the best, in my opinion. Then you got Caleb Banks, Caden McDonald, Lee Hunter, Christian Miller is solid, Georgia guy, Zane Durant. So this is a deeper defensive tackle class. I think Tim Keenan the third, Nick Barrett, Caleb Proctor, similar to the offensive tackle's name. Edge rusher, I think is pretty decent. David Bailey, Ruben Bain Jr. is a very good football player. He's going to be top 10. He's the best edge rusher in this class by a mile. TJ Parker from Clemson is very good. Kedrick Falk is good from Auburn. Cassius Howell is good from Texas A&M. And then at linebacker, Arvell Reese, Sony Styles, CJ Allen, Anthony Hill Jr., Jacob Rodriguez, Jake Galday. This is a very, very Justin Jefferson, very deep linebacker class. A lot of good linebackers from this class, and the same with corners. Delane, McCoy, Terrell, Hood, Pons. This is a really, really good corner and linebacker class. Safety outside of Caleb Downs, I don't think is that great. Dylan isn't bad. Manuel isn't bad. You're relying on upside here, if you ask me. Um, yeah, lower conference out of Toledo. So he could be solid, but Caleb Downs is, I think, overall the best player in this draft class. Out of all these players, I think Caleb Downs is the best football player. Jets at 2. It's going to be interesting, like I said, but I could really see them just taking the best linebacker available here in a very stacked class. I think they'll go Arvell Reese from Ohio State. Good football player there. Arizona Cardinals is interesting. They need an offensive tackle, a quarterback, edge, offensive guard, and running back. Dude, if Caleb Downs found his way to Carolina, man, oh my goodness. um, I would say they could have went wide receiver here, but they just got Kendrick Bourne, so that trio isn't bad. I really think since the Cardinals are rebuilding, they're gonna take somebody up front in the trenches, and I could see them either going edge. Ooh, is it Ruben Bain? Do they go Ruben Bain or do they go Francis? Let's say they take Francis. Arizona's gonna go offensive line. They need to build in the trenches, and they take Francis. Tennessee, um, interesting one again. They could go different scenarios here, but I think ultimately this is the team that gets Ruben Bain Jr. He goes to Tennessee. Edge from Florida, great athlete. Giants. Ooh, I 100% see them taking a wide receiver, and I've always said Carnell Tate is going to be the guy to go to this football team. The Giants, I think, have a good roster on defense, but losing Wan'Dale Robinson is going to hurt. Carnell Tate and Malik Neighbors will be a great duo. Build for Dart, man. They could also go line there too. Cleveland Browns. They need the Lord. Cleveland. What do you need? Obviously, they need a quarterback. You know what? Let's just say they take best tackle there, Monroe Freelane. Commanders. Interesting one. I think this could be, they could go different routes with this one. I don't know if I quite see Jordan Tyson could be a commander. That big physicality receiver. They're losing Debo Samuel. They have Terry McLaurin. That's why I don't know. They lost Tyler Biatz at center. They could go Caleb Downs. They could go running. Let's say the Commanders be smart. They take the best player available and they get Caleb Downs. I doubt Caleb Downs is dropping to 7, but I think that even though Caleb Downs is, in my opinion, the best football player in this 2026 draft class, these guys need a quarterback. These guys need somebody in the front 7. Cardinals rebuilding offensive line. Titans are similar to Cardinals, but they need an edge rusher. Um, Giants need a weapon. It's clear. Browns, they need a Lord, like I said. And Commanders, it just makes sense. Commanders will definitely take best player available. It is a debate in the NFL. Do you take best player available or do you take what you need? And I think it really depends on what your roster is and who is there for your position available. Don't reach. If you need a running back, or let's say if you need a wide receiver and you pick 10 and you think the best player there is like second round worthy, but you got a linebacker on the board that, your team has a solid linebacker, but they're the best player in the draft, you're taking the linebacker. So it really just depends on what position your team is in for best player available or what you need. Saints. Um Saints, they need edge help, they need a wide receiver, they need a corner, they need a guard, they need a tight end. They have Juwan Johnson, I'm pretty sure, unless he left. I'm trying to think. Saints they have Kool-Aid McKinstry. Um, I'm really trying to think for these guys. Let's take a look at the edge room real quick. They could go David Bailey, TJ Parker, wide receiver. They have Chris Olave. I mean, outside of him, they're not good. I feel like they're going to take receiver in the second round. Um, let's say they take him. Cesar Ruiz is gone. Saints fans will be happy. Chiefs. I don't like that they have this pick. Before free agency, I probably would have went like Jeremiah Love here, but obviously, he's not going to go there because of Kenneth Walker. And I know a lot of people are speculating Giants, but I think the Giants would be stupid to take him because they have um Cam Skadaboo, so it just wouldn't make sense. Kansas City Chiefs are interesting though. Do they take Sadiq because they need a tight end since Travis Kelce's going to retire? What do they do there? But I think the Chiefs, more importantly, need an edge rusher. Oh, no, 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 no. I lied. Chiefs need a corner, and they're going to take Jermon McCoy from Tennessee. Or Manser. Let's go Manser. Chiefs need a corner badly. They take Manser Delane from LSU. Bengals. Defense, for sure. Let's say they take Sony Styles, the best linebacker there. Oh, no, they lost Trey Hendrickson. They're losing Trey Hendrickson. They're going to take TJ Parker from Clemson. That's my prediction for the Bengals right now. Miami, interesting one. Malik Willis, obviously. I could see Miami. They need an edge rusher. They could go David Bailey. They lost Jalen Phillips before last year. Offensive tackle, they could go Spencer. They also need middle. This is a tough one. They could go different spots here. Let's just say they take the best player available in their needs. So let's just say they take somebody like David Bailey. That's a best player available pick. Dolphins need a lot. They're rebuilding. They'll just take who's there. Dallas Cowboys. Linebacker, it's Sony Styles. The Los Angeles Rams. Cowboys defense is obviously not the greatest. Rashawn Gary is more of a edge rusher kind of linebacker. Sony Styles will definitely be able to help that role. Los Angeles Rams. They could. You know what? I'm going to say something you guys aren't going to like it. I'll tell you that now. Okay? You're not going to like what I'm going to say right now. The Los Angeles Rams go Ty Simpson. This might happen in round 2. It probably will. If they don't go Ty that early, we'll say they go Jordan Tyson. I'll defend this pick. Stafford's got one more year left. McVay is going to want a quarterback to step right in when Stafford is done. Um, so I really think that taking a quarterback in round 1 or 2 for the Rams, they don't have one in the second round, do they? I don't know if they do or not. Um, Taking a quarterback in the second round or the first round for the Rams, so Ty Simpson could sit behind Stafford is really smart. I know, knowing McVay, I think this is an idea that they have. They don't have much draft picks in the next few years. Everybody knows that. But I really think that with this year's first or second round pick, they're gonna go quarterback, let him sit behind Stafford, and he's gonna start, and he's gonna be really, really good when he retires. All right, moving on, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who you do not want to do business with right now because they back out of trades because they think that they can just cancel trades before they become official. But the Baltimore Ravens, I could see them taking a wide receiver to match with Zay Flowers. I think that would be the smart pick. I know Raven when I see them. They're gonna go Mekhi Lemon. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, They could go edge, linebacker, defensive tackle, safety, guard. Ooh, this one's tough. I'm gonna say they take Dylan, safety. They'll take him. New York Jets again. Who'd they take last time? They took wrong team. They took who'd they take last time? They took a linebacker. Okay, so now I could see the Jets taking maybe somebody on the offensive line. I don't know. I don't think Jordan Tyson's gonna go to the Jets. He could. I just don't see the Jets making that pick. Edge. Mm. Offensive guard. Who's here? Yeah, that's a reach. New York Jets. I really don't know what they do here at 16. They could just go corner. I'll say they go corner because of losing Sauce Gardner, so they could try to replace that hole up a bit. So they get a linebacker and a corner. Detroit Lions, they need a tackle, edge, guard, defensive tackle. So they basically need trenches, and they'll take the best player they can there. Spencer Fanu, since Taylor Decker retired. Minnesota, safety, center, corner. This one's interesting. They could also use a running back. I know they have Aaron Jones, but I'm going to say they take best player available, and Jeremiah Love is a Minnesota Viking. Carolina Panthers. We could go a couple options here. We could go on the offensive line, but we did sign Rasheed Walker. We still have Taylor Moan. I could see us getting offensive line in round 2. Maybe Caleb, Caden Proctor. I think it's a decently deep tackle field. But I think Carolina Panthers, I like our room at this position, but I still think Kenyon Sadiq would bring this offense to another level. I would really love this pick. He is a very athletic player, 6'3", 241. I would love to have him in a Carolina Panthers uniform. Now we got Dallas. They already picked. I got to remember what we took for them. Sony Styles, linebacker. So they could go corner. They could go safety. They could go edge. They have receivers, obviously. Maybe they take this guy right here. You know what? Let's just take a look. Corner. Avion Terrell. They took linebacker. I don't see them double dipping. We'll go Keldrick Falk for the Cowboys at edge to help Rashawn Gary. They lost Micah Parsons, so it would make sense to replace him with a rookie from Auburn. Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. I really don't know here. I think they just go best. They have DK and Michael Pittman at receivers, so they definitely don't need that. I could really see this team taking somebody on defense. Let's say they take CJ Allen at linebacker to help that room out. I know it's getting an older room. It's an older position room for them. So CJ Allen should be able to help them out. Los Angeles Chargers get a wide receiver. They take Jordan Tyson. He is a very good football player, and he would be very good with Justin Herbert from Arizona State. Like I said, he's the best wide receiver in this class. Outside, Carnell Tate's close. Tyson or Tate. Eagles. Interesting. I feel like they have defense. They could add to their offensive line. They could also take a tight end. I don't know what they're gonna do here quite yet. I really don't. This is a tough predicament. Offensive tackle. I feel like they have offensive line though. Do they not? Let's say they take edge. They'll go Akeem Mesidor from Miami. Cleveland Browns. Who'd we take last time for this team? Offensive tackle, wide receiver, quarterback, center, guard. So I think they just who'd we take again? Wide receiver. They could go interior offensive line, but then again that would be reaching a little bit as if, based off these rankings. I think for Cleveland they just take the best receiver available, Denzel Boston, which I pray for him in his career going there. Chicago Bears. I think they definitely need somebody in the secondary, and I could see this team getting somebody like, they need a safety. They'll take a chance on Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. Buffalo Bills. Wow. I could see them taking linebacker, especially after. Let's see. Linebacker. They just got Bradley Chubb, who's not bad. Safety. They could, you know what? They do need an offensive guard. We're going to reach a little bit for Buffalo. They just lost one of theirs. We're going to go Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon. They did lose, like I said, an offensive lineman, so they could reach a little bit there. San Francisco. They have receiver. Who's there? Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall. They could add to this group. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. This is another team. They're going to take best player available. Let's say they go Omar Cooper Jr. Just add to that room. Houston, they're obviously going offensive line, and they're going to take the best one here. Let's just go. Let's say they take Blake Miller. Kansas City Chiefs. Who'd we take? Dude, I don't want this team having 2 first-round picks. That's not good. Oh my gosh, that's just not moving whatsoever. I can't remember what I took last time for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's just not moving. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, I could just check here. Duh. We took a corner for them. Maybe here's where they take the tight end. But again, I don't think they're going to reach quite yet. Let's just say they take Max, offensive tackle. Miami Dolphins. Who'd we take for them? We took a edge rusher. Let's say they go Avion Terrell. I could see him going there, first round player. New England Patriots. They just got Romeo Doubs. Who else is that receiver? They're losing Diggs. They could go Jeremy Bernard. They could also go edge. Let's just say they take a lineman because their line did struggle a bit in the postseason. Seattle. Defense. They lost some there. Let's just say they take the best edge rusher. Trying to think for Seattle. They could go Zion. They could go Colton. We'll go Colton for the Seattle Seahawks. So this is my round 1 mock draft Monday. Let me know in the comments below where you agree, where you disagree. This is very early. This is just opinion based for this one. Obviously, rumors and stuff like that haven't really came out. I'd say in about 2 weeks is when I'd have a lot better idea of where players are going, but this is just my initial one. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you want your team to draft in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.